It's wrestling like you've never seen it. Virtual environment, cyber ring, cyber dome. Scott Hudson and Larry Zbyszko bringing you the action as Buddy Lee Parker and Hard Body Harrison tie up. Let you take a look around the ring. The swords, the tusk, you don't want to get tossed out of the cyber ring.
No, you can get hurt out there. There's fire out there. And even those cages, Scott, very weird, kind of like a giant bug trap.
Interesting. Buddy Lee Parker shot into the corner. Hard Body Harrison, and Buddy Lee isn't wasting any time getting back into the center of the ring. Collar and elbow tie-up. Hammerlock from Hard Body Harrison. It's the WCW Power Sight. Back into the corner. Buddy Lee Parker waiting for the break. No, reversal by Hard Body Harrison. Buddy Lee blocking Hard Body.
Buddy Lee's not one of these guys that likes to break, looking for an opening. Ooh, there he got the man down, but you think one of the primary strategies would be you want your opponent to move so you can toss him over the top rope, see what he lands on out there.
Look outside this cyber ring in our virtual environment. We're in the Cyber Dome at the WCW Power Sight. Hard Body Harrison, top wrist lock, knee to the gut by Buddy Lee. Parker forearm drove Hard Body all the way back to the corner. Buddy Lee, the Sarge, the powerhouse, the fire plug now being forearmed into oblivion by Hard Body Harrison. Reversal no, side headlock by Hard Body.
Yeah, looks like nobody wants to start hitting those ropes or running. There's too many objects outside. Well, there goes Hard Body. He's hitting it again.
Hard Body step over into the ropes. Oh, so close to going out to those swords and that potential fire. Reverse hip toss by Hard Body Harrison. Quickly over lateral press, and he got the 2 count on the Sarge.
Got the Sarge down again. See if he fouls it up. Combination wrestling, hold down the Sarge, but Sarge is a tough customer, real stocky guy, hard to get a hold of, very like wrestling a fire plug.
This is wrestling for the next millennium.
Sarge throws this guy over, he could be in big trouble.
Corner mount, but the Sarge brought him back out and slammed him in the center of the ring. As I was saying, it's wrestling for the next millennium. Look at this, the Sarge with the weapon. The referee takes it away. The cyber stick, no part of it by this referee. Full slam in the center of the ring from Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker.
Going to Sarge is going up. He's going.
This may be it.
Backwards.
Watch Hard Body. Oh! He caught the knee from the Sarge. Lateral press, hooks the leg, and the 3 count. That is all she wrote.
We have a winner and a survivor.
Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker has weathered his opponent and the cyber ring in our virtual world here in the Cyber Dome. He wins it on the WCW Power Sight.
Where's the Cyber Girls?
You are watching history being made at the Cyber Dome on the WCW Power Sight. This is virtual reality wrestling. This is a cyber ring. I'm Scott Hudson. I'm joined by wrestling's living legend, Larry Zbyszko. This is a first. It's wrestling for the new millennium, legend.
And of course, as this thing lowers, wait till you see the cages that these men are placed in. Look at this thing.
Eric Watts, one of our competitors, will emerge from this cyber bug zapper. His opponent will be Chad Fortune. These 2 men, for the first time ever, will lock up in cyberspace. Get ready. WCW Power Sight and WCW.com bring you virtual reality wrestling, and they're not wasting any time at all.
No, they're not. I tell you, Scott, when I invented Larry Land 20 glorious years ago, I never knew that I'd be around to see cyberspace wrestling.
Look outside that ring. Spikes emerging from the floor. You see the tusk protecting the outside of the ring. You do not want to get tossed over the top rope, and Eric Watts almost went into the spikes at ringside.
And you never know when those things are coming up and down. I mean, you can't look at those and look at your opponent.
Eric Watts, whoa, very close to going outside. Now Eric Watts taking it back inside, and look at this, Chad Fortune. Eric almost taking him into the spikes. These 2 men don't like each other. They are former tag team partners meeting up for the first time in cyberspace.
Now I tell you, these guys want to win. They want to be the first cyber champion inside this environment. Eric Watts, big man. See if he can stop Fortune. He stopped him right there with a kick right in the gut.
Knife edge chops and a right hand drives Chad Fortune into the corner. Eric Watts sets him up, shoots him across, and Fortune stayed in the ring. Thankfully for him, snap leg drop on Eric Watts. And Fortune looking good in cyberspace. Fortune puts the flat of the boot to the back of the head of Eric Watts. The referee staying well out of the way. He too could go outside here in the cyber ring at the Cyberdome.
Yeah, and the apron sometimes was a safe haven, but not in this environment. You want to stay inside that ring. Chad Fortune went flying, but kept himself at a safe distance. Those spikes sticking up, you can lose an island with those.
You could lose more than that. Look at that clothesline from Eric Watts off the ropes. We're in the Cyberdome. It's a cyber ring, and that's a realistic 2 count for Eric Watts on Chad Fortune. Scott Hudson and Larry Zbyszko making history at the WCW's power site for WCW.com. Lateral press, hooks the leg. Eric Watts got the 2 count on Chad Fortune.
Hey, Chad Fortune's getting up. Eric Watts is beating him to the count. Eric Watts a 300-pound guy, and Chad Fortune probably almost the same. But hey, he's got it. No, outside.
There goes Watts.
He almost fell out.
He made it. Oh, look at this. A handful of tights. Eric Watts got the 2, and he got the 3 count. Eric Watts taking a shortcut to get the victory in the very first cyber match in the cyber ring. Oh, look at Watts.
It's amazing a second-generation wrestler wins the first-generation cyber match.
Scott Hudson and Larry Zbyszko for the power site. From the WCW power site, this is the Cyberdome, and we are about to enter the cyber ring for professional wrestling in the new millennium. This is WCW live cyber action in a virtual environment. Scott Hudson and wrestling's living legend Larry Zbyszko bringing you all the exciting action. This is history being made, legend.
I tell you, Scott, I lived long enough to see into the future. I could be labeled a modern-day Nostradamus after this, but where do you see the way the ring's designed with the tusks and swords coming up from the floor? There are no run-ins in cyberspace.
Oh, very good. I don't blame them for not running in here either. Our 2 combatants will be Chase Tatum and the powerhouse Kenny Chaos.
Yeah, Kenny Chaos, very well-muscled individual, very fast guy. I like Chaos. He's got great balance, a lot of power, and I think he's smart enough to stay away from those swords.
Oh, please, Chaos taking a chance, going up top, drop kick, leveled Chase Tatum. If either man takes it over the top rope, you could go under the lower rope. You're still gonna hit a spike that's jutting up from the floor here in the Cyberdome.
You know, that armbar might be the safest thing to stay in right here.
No question about it. If you're Kenny Chaos, don't take any undue chances. You never know what lurks outside the cyber ring. From the WCW power site and WCW.com, this is wrestling for the new millennium. Leapfrog, that's a hip toss from Chase Tatum. Lateral press. He only got a 1 count on Kenny Chaos.
Yeah, Chase Tatum making his move. Chaos is building up somewhat of a reputation here in cyberspace, and a lot of guys hunting for him. And see if Chase missed him.
Chaos into those ropes. Way too much for my comfort level, but he's on top, and he only got barely a 1 count before the very powerful Chase Tatum kicked out.
But I tell you, I've hit ropes in the past where they've broken. I've wound up in the second row. Only here, the second row's not so friendly.
Not at all. Although I don't know, the second row in Philadelphia wasn't too friendly.
Yeah, but that was just hat pins.
Chase Tatum and Kenny Chaos in our cyber ring.
Do they still make hat pins nowadays?
I'm almost sure they don't. Oh, Chase Tatum. Forearm in the jaw.
Nice suplex.
T-boned him right out of his shorts. Hooks the leg. Side presto. Kenny Chaos kicked out at 2. And Chase Tatum thought it should have been 3.
But Chaos, big, strong guy. Hard to hold him down. He's got so much upper body strength. Both these guys have got to get ultra aggressive here and use a lot more movement. I try to make those spears shooting up come into play. Use them to scare and psych out your opponent.
It takes an entirely different strategy when you're in the cyber ring, in the cyber dome. Gone are the days when you can use the top rope as an offensive weapon. You have to stay grounded and inside the ring at all times. Chase Tatum is down. Kenny Chaos struggling back to his feet. Chaos up first, but Chaos ducks a wild right hand.
He's picked him up. Is he gonna throw him out?
Ooh,
Threw
I
him
thought
down.
he was too.
I was hoping he would.
That
Nice
would
sick.
be interesting.
Cyber sick.
Cyber sick. Oh, Chaos! The leg drop. What a high-risk maneuver. Hooks the leg. Lateral press. Kenny Chaos is your victor in the cyber ring as we fill up the cyber dome. For the living legend, Larry Zbyszko, I'm Scott Hudson. There will be more wrestling for the new millennium from the WCW Power Site.